brand strategy is how you are going to free yourself from marketing that's salesy and soulless. But when you say brand strategy, especially to the type of people I work with, the term itself sounds like really bland corporate speak. It sounds soulless. It totally turns people off. So let's break it down. Brand strategy, all it is the big picture of who you are, who your audience is, and where you are going together. Marketing is the nitty-gritty that helps move you forward on this big picture journey. And if you start by focusing just on the marketing, new photos and videos you need, maybe hiring a social media manager, wanting to refresh your website, whatever it is, chances are you're putting yourself in a really difficult position because you're trying to figure out what to post, what to say, and in the chaos of daily life, you end up falling short of what you were really capable of. And it ends up feeling like you have so much more to offer than you know how to say. And this is brand strategy, knowing what to say, knowing why you exist. And then marketing just becomes the work of bringing it to life, putting it into the world, the day in and day out. Brand strategy is the map, and marketing is what moves you forward. And they work really, really beautifully together, because without a map, marketing is kind of aimless. It wanders, it wastes time and energy and money. But without marketing, a strategy, it's just theory. And at this point, it might help you out to add a word in front of brand strategy. Creative brand strategy. Authentic brand strategy. Non-bullshitty, non-gross brand strategy. Whatever strikes an emotional chord for you. Because when done well, that's what it is. That's what brand strategy really is. It's genuine. It's about creating an experience, about serving your audience in a way that only you really can. So why is brand strategy important? Brand strategy is important because it's your compass. It shows you where you're going and keeps you on track, and it takes the pressure and decision fatigue, one of my favorite terms, off of your daily work. And because it's based in something honest, based in something really true about who you are and the work you do, this foundation is how you free yourself from marketing that doesn't feel right. Marketing that feels just a little bit too salesy, a little bit too cringy. And when you incorporate marketing without running it first through your brand strategy, how are you going to know whether it's a good idea, whether it's the right fit for your audience? It's not about just being busy. It's about being busy on the right things, and that is why brand strategy is important. So how do you put brand strategy to work for you? Again, brand strategy, when done well, in the way we are talking about here today, it's not cookie cutter. It's not about regurgitating, copying what someone else is doing. It's a messier process than that, but that is how you get to the magic. That is how you unleash the power and potential of brand strategy, which is really just the power of personality and of purpose. But you have to dig down. What makes you different? What do you like? What are you interested in? What are the very unique things that you bring to the table? And there are two types of differences, two types of things you bring to the table. And the first is the type you normally hear about. It's your competitive advantages. Another very soulless sounding term, but bear with me here. These are the things you do different in a very classical business sense. So let's say sweaters are mostly made by machines, but yours are hand woven by artisans. That is a competitive advantage, and there are lots of resources for working on this, for charting your competitive advantages. But what has virtually no resources is the second type of things that you bring to the table. And that's because this one is really personal. It's not a formula, it's the quirky things that make you you. So you run a business, you create art, you run a nonprofit. That's the work you do, but you bring all of these other things to the table too. And I want you to learn how to let these things, these differences, influence what you're building, how it looks and feels and sounds. Let who you are seep into your work, because this is what's going to set you apart. It's going to draw your community into you, and it's going to give you more satisfaction in your work because it's built from a genuine place. And it does not have to be heavy-handed. It does not have to be confusing. It can be really subtle. But allowing these things to shine through is almost an antidote to the banality of most of our daily experiences, because most transactions are slick, they're clean, they're sterile, they're impersonal. Do the opposite. So what is the goal of brand strategy? Well, the goal of brand strategy is not about building things just for getting eyeballs. It's about tapping into something real and then connecting from that place. Build something engaging. Be brave enough to step away from like an immediate ROI feedback and trust the process. Make something worthy and trust that that is going to lead you in the direction that you want to go. Because eyeballs are not the goal. Eyeballs should be the inevitable result of putting something worthwhile into the world. I recently heard a business talking about their SEO strategy and where they wanted to go. And their goal was to get to 200 blogs per month. So Google would rank them higher. But there was no talk of quality, of value for their customers, and no apparent wrestling with whether by committing to this volume, they were also committing to the garbage and noise that increasingly litters our lives. My guess is that their brand strategy is about growth targets and sales increases, and that's all. And their marketing reflects that. So what is the takeaway? If there is only one thing you remember from this video, remember this. Brand strategy, it's a totally neutral thing. It's not good, it's not bad. It's all in your hands. So you need to be conscientious and careful of who you look to for marketing advice. So ask yourself, would you be proud to have your name on their work? And if not, why are you following their lead? Because if you follow the advice of someone who feels no shame in chasing sales at any cost, your brand strategy is going to start to reflect that. But if you're not interested in selling people and you reject this type of advice, then your brand strategy, it won't be salesy. You don't have to worry about that, because instead it's suddenly about finding the people you are best able to serve. And it can be fresh and genuine and fun because you are all of those things. And if you are brave enough to show up and stand out, then you have the chance the chance to make something that in some small way really matters. Something that might bring light and joy and meaning into someone's life or their day. And isn't that all why we're here? To do something we care about?